Hey there, my wedding planning friends, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, thanks so much for clicking on my video. I'm Emily Summer, I'm a wedding planner based in Montana, and I make weekly videos on wedding planning tips and advice. So today's video is for all of you non-dancers out there. I know that you exist. I've had some of my own clients in a similar boat, and a lot of times a wedding reception is largely based around dancing. And if that's not your style, then hopefully this video will help give you some pointers on how to get through your wedding day if you are somebody that either doesn't like to dance or doesn't like to have eyes on you while you dance. So this one's for you. If you are not a dancer, if you are not somebody that wants to dance in front of other people, especially with everyone's eyes on you, that is totally okay. So hopefully this video will give you some ideas on how to kind of combat that and some things that you can do to help make it a little bit easier for you and still have your guests entertained at your wedding. So my first tip is to do your first dance at your cocktail hour. So do all your photos in the beginning of cocktail hour, get all that done, and then come and join your cocktail hour while everyone is still kind of mingling in a more casual environment. People aren't sitting down and waiting for your arrival. You can have your arrival announced by your DJ if you want to, or you can just join your cocktail ceremony and just have your DJ kind of announce that you're gonna do your first dance and put your song on, and you can dance wherever you are, wherever there's space. This way, people will still be watching you, of course, but it's in more of a casual environment. A lot of people will still be kind of standing around in different locations and mingling with each other and not have it be such a formal, everyone is sitting down and looking directly at you type of environment. So it might make it a little bit easier and less stressful for you if you're somebody that doesn't like all eyes watching you. Another tip I have is to talk to your DJ beforehand and come up with some kind of cue or secret signal between the two of you on when to kind of stop the music. So you don't have to dance to an entire song, especially if you're somebody that gets really uncomfortable either dancing in general or dancing in front of other people. You can dance to 20 seconds of a song if that's what you want to do. If you still want to have your first dance or your father-daughter dance or your mother-son dance, you don't need to dance for an entire song. So an idea that a lot of my couples do with DJs is to kind of give them a little head nod or something to signify that they are ready to be done with the song, and the DJ will just fade it out and move on to the next thing. So if the idea of dancing for 4 or 5 minutes in front of other people stresses you out, you don't need to do it. Another idea is to turn your first dance into an anniversary dance. So maybe it's just the two of you alone dancing for 10-15 seconds, and then the DJ will announce for all married couples to come out onto the dance floor, and that way you can kind of turn it into the anniversary dance, or just be able to have other people around you so it's not all eyes on you in the spotlight, but you still get to have your first dance. You can get photos of you two dancing as a married couple for the first time and still have this moment without it being completely on you. Similarly, if you still want to have your mother-son or father-daughter dance or whatever type of parent dance you are doing, something that a lot of my clients have done that don't want the spotlight completely on them is to do those at the same time. So you and your partner can dance with whatever parent at the same time. And that way it feels just a little bit less like you're in the spotlight because you're sharing that with another couple or another partner. Another idea that's similar is to do your father-daughter dance, and then similar to the first dance and turning that into the anniversary dance, you can do your father-daughter dance and have it just be you and your father for the first 10 seconds or so, and then have the DJ invite all father-daughters onto the dance floor. Again, you still get your father-daughter dance, you still get those photos, but you're not completely in the spotlight. And it's also a sweet moment to see all of the other father and daughters on the dance floor. Similarly, you can do the same thing with the mother and son and start it out with just the two of you, and then have the all other mother and sons out onto the dance floor. If you are not dancers at all and you don't want to have a first dance, you don't want to do any of it, that's okay. I know it's not as common, but it definitely happens. I've had a couple that completely did not want to do a first dance at all. And what they did instead was opt for an activity. So a game what's referred to as the shoe game. Perhaps you have heard of it, or you've attended an engagement party or maybe even a wedding where they did this. And essentially the shoe game is where the couple sits in chairs back to back so they can't see each other, and they each take off their shoes, or sometimes they'll have an extra pair of shoes. So maybe if you're a bride that had your fancy shoes for photos and now you're in your comfies, you can use your fancy shoes for this game. So you have one shoe of each partner in your hand. So you have one of your own and one of your partner's shoe, and the DJ or maybe a family friend, whoever, is reading off lists of questions about you guys as a couple or individually, or just about your relationship, and you each answer with who you think that question applies to with whatever shoe you think that is. So for example, a common question is who made the first move. So if it was you, then you would put your own shoe in the air. If it was your partner, you would put your partner's shoe in the air. And it's kind of funny to see certain things about the relationship and maybe things that surprise your guests or things that are like an argument between the two of you. It's kind of fun to see. So that's another way that you can still have a bit of a moment without it being dancing. And it's also entertaining for the guests as well. And continuing on that, if you are not dancers at all, if you don't plan to have a big dance floor at your wedding, if that's not what you anticipate seeing kind of the center of entertainment for your wedding day, whether that is for yourself or for your guests, having activities for either yourself or your guests is a great way to kind of incorporate other outside mingling, communicative opportunities at your wedding that aren't just a dance floor if that's not something that you're super into. So a lot of my couples will have certain types of lawn games or games at their wedding, which even if they have a dance floor, this is just a fun way to interact with guests, especially if you're having an outdoor wedding and you want to be able to take advantage of the nice weather outdoors before the dance floor really gets going. So games like cornhole, bocce ball, horseshoes are great ideas to have included at your wedding. And one of my favorites, I've actually had couples play beer pong at their wedding, which is one of my personal favorites as well. I actually got this portable social pong table from a company called Elikai Outdoor, and they make all kinds of outdoor lawn games, all of the ones that I mentioned before. And I love this pong set because I've had couples that will play beer pong at their wedding or want to have beer pong come out at some point at their wedding. And this is such a nice like wooden set that you can have it at your wedding and not have it look as like kind of cheap or cheesy or college party as having just like a folding table and solo cups out. So I'll include the link for that and their other games in the description below, but highly recommend having some type of activity or outdoor games for your guests or for yourself during a wedding. It's totally okay if you are not dancers or if you are not people that like the spotlight. There are several ways to kind of work around that and still get your special moments. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe to get weekly videos on wedding planning tips and advice, and we'll see you next week.